your life could have you do something astonishing, so much so that you won't believe it. And because you won't believe it, then others won't believe it either. And then you will not be able to own what you were born to bring to the world, and you will suffer a bit, and then the world will suffer because they are missing that thing that you came to bring because you couldn't believe it. And that was me. And it is March 25th of 2026, and I'm going to talk about that because I looked at the message on March the 25th of 2025, and it said, "You can still be the hero." And then I looked at the message for tomorrow, March 26th of 2025, and it said, "Why would you settle for less?" And those messages were meant for you. It was just that I was meant to do something astonishing and bring it to the world so that you would understand it and so that our world could become what it could be instead of what we're witnessing now. Because we each come into the world to offer something that could cause our world to evolve. But when billions of us don't do that, then we have conditions occurring in our lives, but also in the world as we're witnessing now. And I've known that. I started receiving guidance from Wilhelm in 1989. I tried to keep it hidden for the longest time because it didn't make sense to me, except I knew I had connected to an intelligence that was far beyond what I could possibly have known. But because we have difficulty believing in something outside of what we have experienced or known, I had difficulty accepting it and attempted to keep it hidden. Even though I'm moving through my life, healing everything, understanding mind body connections, and moving through all kinds of difficult, horrible things, the worst things that any human could possibly imagine. And now I'm 75 and it's changed. And I can say that to people and they will look at me and say it's not possible. And then we all stay in the same place. And that's what I was doing. But because it's the 25th, I'm going to read you a message from 2020. I also said that I downloaded the Order of the Universe. Again, something that's astonishing that I couldn't explain and no one has seen it. And I've never studied astrology or any of those sciences. Um, all I did was sit every day, and this is what I was asked. How did this happen? I sat every day for 37 years now and received information, and I wrote it down. And then it turns into the most sophisticated personal development, mind shifting, consciousness, ascension program ever created in the world. But I was settling for less, as you might have done in your life. And so that's why I can read this message and know it was my fault. March 25th, 2020. It was always your fault. We know that title captured the attention of many, and you will come to understand why. We gave that title to Roger several years ago and suggested he use it in an exercise in his program. At that time, a person with whom he was working balked at that title and thought it would offend many because most of you don't want to accept full responsibility for your lives. What we suggested for the process was for each of you to change your perceptions about what is occurring in your lives. You have become accustomed to giving away your power to others, and the clever manner in which you accomplish this is to use blame or make your challenges the result of the actions of another. Now you can always choose that route if you wish, but you will then never be an empowered, fully actualized person. It took Roger quite a while to write this because he, like you, does not want to examine his unwillingness to harness and use his innate power. That is why he didn't use the process years ago. As we mentioned, you will all do much more self examination during this period. And when you become aware of how you have made your life the fault of others, you may beat yourself up a bit more. But no need. We will leave you with a message we did give Roger years ago, which will tie this up nicely. But also, forgive yourself first. November 9th, 2009. Finding fault with any aspect of your life experience is merely an indication that you have yet to understand, come to know, or experience the purpose and meaning of that particular aspect. While that is a long statement, it holds such valuable information as you dissect its parts to gain greater awareness and assist your evolution. You do not live in an accidental or random universe, for indeed there would be no purpose or meaning in that. Every event, situation, person, and occurrence was orchestrated in a way to provide you with all the tools to actualize your very own evolvement. Guilt and blame are also indications you are finding fault. Simply use them to your benefit. And so I think I'll do that today. So what I did was I put page together so you can see, because I sat here and I go, I know that the messages leading up to the end of this month will be aligned because I received the information last year and it's all energetically, cosmically aligned, astrologically aligned, and I've never studied that. But it did cause healing within me, and it causes consciousness to change, and that's what we all want. And that was the life path that I have chosen, and it was astonishing, and I couldn't accept it. But after tomorrow, I'm accepting it because I can no longer settle for less, because otherwise you would be doing the same thing. Enjoy the blog, and I needed to explain this to others because I hold back as you might have done. And this is not the time to do that. Nothing in our world is happening accidentally. It's just that many of us are not paying attention to who we could become. And I was the main culprit. I'll see you soon.